We're going to get started if everyone can come in. So, hi, my name is Brenda Kosman. I'm the Associate Dean of Research at the very newly named Henry N.R. Jackman Faculty of Law. I think it's our fourth day being known as Jackman Law. Thank you for joining us today as we celebrate the launch of the Animal Law Program at the Faculty of Law. I'm here because the Dean sends her regrets. I'm like a Dean Light, not full Dean. She sends her regrets. She's had a really busy week here at the faculty. As again, some of you have heard, we've had a very exciting good news week, very exciting transformational gift and renaming of the faculty this week. So this is actually a wonderful, wonderful way to close what has already been a celebratory week with the celebration of a new faculty-led program, which I know everyone in the room is really excited about and interested in. Let's start with an acknowledgement that the University of Toronto rests on the traditional lands of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, the Mississaugas of the Credit. The land is also part of the Dish with One Spoon Wombat Belt Covenant, an agreement between the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, and the Allied Nations to share and protect the resources around the Great Lakes in peace. Today, the land remains home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island. We're grateful for the opportunity to learn, to work, and live on this territory, and recognize our responsibility to honor and uphold these relationships, including the teachings that call us to respect animals and care for the land, waters, and all the beings with whom we share this territory. So I know that there are many friends and supporters in the room who are aware of what's been happening at U of T with animal law programming, with things like mainstreaming of the large lecture course in animal law. It's been offered annually now for 4 years. We've added a new seminar this year. There are now 3 tiers of fellowship for students funded by the Hadley Family Foundation, and a practicum opportunity that revolves around the large lecture course. Some other things that are going on, there's the Brooks Animal Law Digest, Canada edition, which provides free regular updates to the public on developments in Canadian animal law. It's been running for 3 years now, and it forms the core work of the Animal Law Research Associate Kira Berkeley. Kira. Is Kira? Hi, Kira. Professor Kirsten Silt, director of the Brooks McCormick Jr. Animal Law and Policy Program at Harvard Law School, who is here with us this evening, directs the U.S. Animal Law Digest and is here to share some thoughts. We'll call on her. Some thoughts about the collaborative work and to welcome the program. So we'll hear from Kristen in a few moments. There's also the Animal Law Research Guide at the Boar Alaskan Library, which is a free resource for students, scholars, and the wider public that has been developed under the leadership of Acting Chief Law Librarian Soo-Yin Kim, who's here, who is also here to say a few words about both that project and the library featuring faculty-led research initiatives around the law, specifically the Animal Law Program. And then, of course, finally, there is Angela Fernandez, the incoming director of the Animal Law Program, who's going to talk about the background of the program and future plans. Now, let me just say, so Angela provided me with some background notes, some speaking notes, and in her inimical fashion, she said nothing about herself, right? Nothing, not a word. And it is fair to say that none of us would be here, we wouldn't be standing in this room, there wouldn't be any animal law program at U of T if it was not for the tireless and passionate work of Angela Fernandez. And so congratulations, Angela, on this incredible Exactly. What you deserve and more. So now I'm going to turn it over to Kristen, and we're going to hear from Kristen a little bit. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Dean Kosman. I'm very, very pleased to be here, and I would echo your opening remarks. And I am always so impressed to be in Canada and to see that kind of recognition that we so often overlook in our own country. So thank you. I'll only speak for a few minutes because it's going to get more and more exciting as we build up here. But I'm a professor of law at Harvard Law School and also a historian. And 11 years ago, when I joined Harvard Law School, I founded what's now the Brooks McCormick Jr. Animal Law and Policy Program. And at that time, we were one of the first animal law programs. Lewis and Clark was already in existence. But then after us, maybe we were a catalyst, maybe it was in the air, but some amazing faculty in the US also did the same. So Justin Marceau at Denver, Doug Heiser at Yale, and most recently Delcy Winters at Vermont were also able to start their own animal law programs. And as I well know, that is no easy feat. I mean, it is tough to get these programs off the ground and funded in the ways we aspire to enable us to hire the best talent, to do the hardest work, to make the biggest impact. And if you want a sense of how much impact there is left to do, please don't miss MH's exhibit today or on another day. And I'll say more about that in a second. But all along, myself and my other US colleagues I just mentioned, we were working with an extraordinary faculty member here at Toronto on collaborative animal law projects. And I assert, and I challenge you to disprove my assertion, that all animal law is global. And we have benefited from and value tremendously the cross-border engagement with, indeed, that tremendous person, Professor Angela Fernandez, and so much that we have learned about Canada from her. So let me just give you 3 examples of this relationship that we have had, a relationship that is just going to grow stronger with the new program and the resources. And along the way, I'll give you a couple short quotes from colleagues who work with and admire Angela and couldn't make the trip here. Now, as an aside, reading quotes admiring Angela as a historian and law professor could take a very long time. But don't worry, I've only just pulled a few from the many people who have asked that I convey their greetings here. So first, I hope you all know about, indeed read, the digests. It was already kindly mentioned, but to drill down a little bit, there's a weekly US digest and a bi-weekly Canadian digest. The Canadian one is researched and written right here with Angela and her team, and the US one is done at my program with my amazing team member, Kelly McGill, Legislative Policy Fellow, with assistance for me. They are sent out by the Brooks Institute, and so please sign up there. This is the only source of serious legal updates, meticulously researched, as you would expect from the library and librarians, right, that we turn to at these 2 fine institutions, and carefully written. So I read Canada, Angela reads the US, and we get ideas on what to cover from one another. As Kelly McGill, our fellow, says, in the years ahead, the new program will help cast even more light on legal developments for animals in Canada and will advance global animal law by enabling us to understand Canada's developments in context of our own and vice versa, and enhance the cross-border collaboration. Okay. But there's more to the digest than the digest. So I'll say very quickly, one of my favorite things to do every year is the conversation Angela and I have at the Brooks Annual Congress, where we explore and analyze our own developments. What's different in the US, what's different in Canada, what's similar, what are we doing that you used to do, and now we have taken on a bad habit. What are you doing of our bad habits, right? And I when I say bad habits, again, look at MH's work, right? These are serious, serious issues, and tracing them and knowing their origins is comparative law in action and at its finest. So second, collaboration, Angela and I and Justin Marceau, previously mentioned, are working on an animal law casebook that will benefit from this cross-border relationship, that will have comparative and international elements to it. And Justin says, quote, Professor Fernandez has been instrumental in building the field of animal law. With the launch of this program, her work and that of her colleagues will have an even greater platform to showcase their rigorous and grounded approach to the role of law in protecting and advancing the rights of animals. My colleague back at my program, Bonnie Nadzem, says that Angela has an uncanny ability to synthesize across disciplines, emphasizing just how critical and omnipresent animal law is to a larger body of academic discourse in our shared commitment to higher education. Doug Kaiser, Faculty Director of Law, Environment, and Animal Program, or LEAP at Yale, sends his best wishes. As he says, he's a longtime admirer of Professor Fernandez and the entire animal law community here at U of T in Toronto. Congratulations, could not be more excited about this and look forward to more collaboration. And Delcy Winders, Director of the Animal Law and Policy Institute at Vermont Law and Graduate School, which is now, I think, in its second year, sends her thoughts of huge congratulations. This is an important milestone for the growing field of animal law. And all of this is to emphasize we were working together, but Canada needed a pillar. It needed a home base. It needed an institution that is not going away, that it's only going to grow. It needed a place where their work can continue to cover all of the territory that you have, in the same way that we have dotted animal law programs all over our country. Toronto is yours. This is your place. And Angela, it's a burden also. It's a big burden and responsibility, but we're counting on you. And from your friends from the southern border, you have all of our support, all of our support. And then third, I'll just mention quickly our collaboration around students, intellectual engagement. I want to shout out to Ricardo Diaz-Alarcon, who came from doing an LLM at Harvard to be an SJD student here. He's still on fieldwork in Colombia. And then, of course, I had the privilege of being MH's LLM supervisor and then her doctoral supervisor for her SJD. Your time with us was a privilege, and I'm continue to be blown away every single time I read or see something new by you. And tonight, it's just, I mean, you keep going. And I'm so happy that you're here, and I'm so happy that you and Angela, you're a dynamic force combined with all the other fine people at Toronto. And we need you to lead the way, because this kind of creativity, I haven't seen this before. And I hope we can bring this all throughout the US as well, and really shake up some hearts and minds to what's really happening in the world. So I went off a little off script, MH, because now having seen this, what I wrote doesn't do justice to the impact that I felt when I saw it. And thank you for inviting me. Thank you for doing all of this. And thank you to the donors of this fine program. I know you've already named them, but I hope more step forward, because Canada, this is your spot to make real change. And we couldn't be happier to have you in our community. Okay. And now it is my honor to hand things over to Suin. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be with you all at this very exciting launch of the Animal Law Program. I've had the pleasure of knowing Angela for 21 years, ever since we both arrived in 2004 at what was back then just plain old Faculty of Law. From the very beginning, Angela has been an exceptional friend and steadfast supporter of the Bora Alaskan Law Library. She's a frequent user of our services, a reliable and thoughtful member of the Library Advisory Committee, and always on our short list to serve on committees, whether we're hiring a new librarian, promoting a new librarian, or recruiting a new position. So when Angela approached the library about 3 years ago with the idea of developing an animal law research guide for students and researchers working on this relatively new area of law, we were absolutely thrilled to support the initiative. The Law Library has created many research guides across a wide range of legal subjects, and this project was a natural and complementary addition to that collection. Myself and fellow librarians Alexia Lumankis and John Boland began working closely with Professor Fernandez and the Animal Law Research Associate, gathering a wide range of materials, including book titles, edited collections, book chapters, scholarly articles, leading cases, and relevant legislation to form the foundation of the guide. The following year, we expanded the guide to include book reviews, theses, encyclopedias, documentaries, podcasts, and videos. And in the third year, we introduced a hot topic section highlighting trending issues in pet custody, ag-gag laws, vegetarianism and discrimination, personhood, and wills and estates. Most recently, we've added a curated list of journals that publish regularly in the field of animal law to help researchers identify potential venue for publication. This research guide has exceeded our wildest expectations. With over 13,000 visits to date and counting, it has become one of our most popular and widely used guides, clearly meeting a real need and sparking genuine interest in this growing area of legal scholarship. This research guide is also having an impact in the classroom. Faculty like Professor Lisa Austin report that students turn to it while working on a small group assignment in her property law class, a case comment on a British Columbia pet custody decision that applied the best interests of the animal concept, a case that is featured in the guide under leading cases and the pet custody hot topic section. We are honored and thrilled to continue collaborating with the Animal Law Group, and extremely excited to be hosting MH's exhibit, Necessary Cruelty, the legal technology of domestic predation here at the Broad Alaskan Law Library. Even as the installation process began yesterday, students were stopping, curious to read, learn, and reflect. The exhibit is already generating meaningful engagement. We're especially pleased that MH will be integrating the exhibit into her animal law seminar this semester, and we look forward to welcoming her and her students into the library for this unique pedagogical interaction. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Well, thank you so much to everyone for coming. Before I start my remarks, MH, can you just put your hand up so everybody knows who you are? Because I'm just not sure. And she's going to love to talk to you about the exhibit, any thoughts you have, and feedback and things like that, I know. So I want to make sure people know who you are. It's so hard to believe how far things have come around here in just the last 4 or so years for animal law. As Brenda mentioned, we've been building programming with the courses, writing opportunities, practicum fellowships. We've got 3 levels now, a JD, doctoral, and postdoctoral, all being generously funded by the Hadley Family Foundation. We've also had the digest, as Kristen spoke about, and the research guide, as Sue-Ann spoke about, or RG, as we call it. We're like, Sue-Ann, more RG updates. We are always working on that. And now I'm very excited to announce that we have received a commitment for an additional $500,000 of funding for the next 3 years from the Hadley Foundation and another generous donor. So these additional funds will allow us to hold in-person events. We know many of which I've been only doing them virtually since COVID, and so this will really help us ramp things up in that respect. They will also allow us to hire a program coordinator to help myself and the Animal Research Associate, which would be very advantageous for events, for project management, and a number of research projects which are in the works. The program now has a new website, which rolled out just a couple of days ago because the faculty launched their new website. So that was like, Kira worked on that like
so much of the summer, and we weren't sure, when it was going to happen, and so that's really wonderful. If you want to check out the website, there's a QR code on the registration table, so you can check it out. And here, in the remarks, I kind of wanted to do some shout outs to people who are here, and to let you know who they are, and if you want to connect with them in the time remaining, that would be really nice. So we have Iselin Gambert, who is our first faculty visitor from George Washington Law School. Iselin, do you want to wait? And Iselin is going to be speaking at one of our events. It's going to be held not this week, but next week. And so you can come in person, as I mentioned, and sign up for Eventbrite, or we're going to do hybrid online too, so that's possible. Iselin's on a card that's also on the registration desk, and you'll see on Tuesday we have two authors who've written a new book on constitutional law, animal law, and sentience-based protection for animals. So this is Raphael Fazal and John Adentier and Will Kimlicka from Queens, who maybe many of you know. He's going to be doing a commentary on that. So that's actually going to be this Tuesday coming up. And then we have one other event in October, which we're co-sponsoring with the Schwartz-Reisman Institute, and that's going to be on a new book written by a professor at the NYU Department of Environmental Studies named Jeff Sebo. And then in November, we've got an event on Canadian slaughterhouses, and the speaker is going to be Sarah Berger Richardson from University of Ottawa. Anyway, so if you grab one of those cards, it'll have all those things coming up, and so you won't miss anything. For the program, we have assembled a wonderful group of advisors. If you go to the website, you can check out their bios. But I wanted to just give a shout out to those of you who I know who are here, also so that Max can get a photo of you. And Max is he was around, and anyway, he'll know who you are. So please don't go without letting him get a photo of you. So first we have Camille Labchuk, who's the Executive Director of Animal Justice. Yeah. Camille is one of our most important graduates of I don't know how many years, and does such wonderful work for animals, and I know many of you know her. The Animal Law and Advocacy Conference, which she's organizing, is being held at TMU from September 26th to September 28th, and so if you haven't signed up, you can still have time to do that. Next, we have Nandita Bhaja. Nandita is the Executive Director of Population Balance, and she is the producer and host of two podcasts, which are wonderful, wonderful things. She spends so much time and effort on these, Overshoot and also Beyond Pronatalism. So if you get a chance to talk to Nandita, you should do that. Nital Jathalal, Nital, there you are. Okay, Nital, I don't even know how to summarize what you do. You do so many things, but many of them related to plant-based food and eating, and just it's wonderful to have you on board and on the team, and you are a wonderful person and know everyone, which is always so helpful. Toronto is such a small community, really, so it's quite feasible for all of us to know each other. Next, we have Dr. Zara Kassam, who's a doctor and professor at the Department of Radiation Oncology at U of T. I don't know if Dr. Kassam is still here. There you are. Okay, amazing, amazing. She is the founder of Plant-Based Canada and the author, with her sister, of the book that's on the table at the registration desk. It's called Eating Plant-Based: Scientific Answers to Your Nutrition. So this is super practical, wonderful intervention, and we're really excited to be connected with Dr. Kassam. Next, we have Cheryl Milne. Cheryl, many of you from the law school will know Cheryl. She's the executive director of our faculty's Asper Center for Constitutional Rights, which I think is coming up on its 20th birthday. So, Cheryl has already advised me very much about things that and I think, in terms of survivalism around this place, Cheryl, I think nobody knows more than you. So I'm very happy to have you on the team. Yeah. And then next, we have Mark Solovny. I don't know if Mark had to go and lead there. Mark, there you are. Okay, I'm going to get your department right, Mark. Professor of the History of Social Science and History of Science at U of T. Did I get it? Okay, yes, that's great. And if you have a chance to chat with Mark, you should ask him about his undergraduate course in the history of veganism and vegetarianism. It's really a very unique course. I think it's the first of its kind in Canada. And anyway, so he's a really path-breaking colleague. Next, Kip Phillips. Kip, I saw you. Yes, there you are. Okay, Kip volunteers as a student program lawyer with Animal Justice, and she helps organize the Student Day at the Animal Law and Advocacy Conference. So that day is being held at TMU on Friday, September 26th. So Kip, we're so glad to have you for the students. Okay, and then also, we have other advisors as well. You could check people out on the website. Kristen is one, Justin is one mentioned, MH is one. MH, I talk to you, I don't think I do anything without talking to you. That is so valuable. Okay, we've also had a number of high school student volunteers working with us on the digest, so you can read their bios there. And we have two of those students here with us tonight. Kenesha Ratnalingham. Kenesha, do you want to wave to people? Great. And also Aisha Hassan. Is Aisha here, or no, did she make it, or maybe not? Okay, no Aisha, okay. So then, I just want to say thank you to Brenda for stepping in for Dean Brunet at such short notice. Brenda, I know this has been a really crazy week, and I really, really appreciate it. Kristen, for coming all this way up to celebrate with us, and for your support and your collaboration and your friendship. And Suin, I got to power through this without breaking down into tears. Suin, I've known you for so long, and you are such a pillar around this place, supporting the research and the students. And, we've done yoga in this room. How many hours of yoga have we done in this room? I think of you, this room, and that's what I think of. Hosting the exhibit, helping to get it up, for believing in the exhibit and believing in MH and her team. Thank you so much. And then I want to give a big shout out to Animal Law Research Associate Kira Berkeley, who's sitting up here at the front. Many of the members of Kira's family are here, and I just want to say to you, I know you are so proud of everything that she has done this year. Really, the digest, the website, the socials, every detail of this evening, including making sure we had vegan wine. I mean, just everything, Kira, and I appreciate you so much. And then also we have the Animal Law Research Associate, Crystal Ann Roussel, and Crystal's currently on mat leave and couldn't make it here tonight, but she really helped me kickstart this vision of the Animal Law Program. In fact, the first version of the documents that we put forward, we were going for center, because we were like, biggest impact we can get. And then the university was like, whoa. You don't have enough money to be center, and so we had to kind of, scale it back. But but that was, Crystal really was, she was really a big force in making all that happen. Aviva, yes, Crystal. And then we have Aviva Lavavi and the rest of the events team and facilities for helping in really what must have been the busiest week in the history of the faculty. And so thank you so much for everything that you've done. And then there we have MH and her team, Rachel Wallace, Patrine Ing, Isha Wallace, and Ann Campbell. And also giving a special shout out to Isha and Rachel's mom, Alice, who's sitting right there on the end. Alice, you're one of my highlights today. When I met you earlier this evening, you said, Angela, I heard you on the radio 4 times today. Apparently it's playing on some kind of loop. So this is really good. We have to take it. This doesn't usually happen. So, it's a good moment. The exhibit is going on until November 21st. So please feel free to return. Bring a friend to see it and experience it. The library is actually going to be open till 8 p.m. tonight, so you can go back and see if you were not able to have a chance earlier. But just please don't bring food or alcohol into the space. Okay, MH and her team. Great. And then we have Heidi Liebsman and her dog therapy team from One Health Partners. It's always a pleasure to partner and work with you, Haiti. So hopefully everyone got a chance to interact with Luna, and a really lovely dog. And Jane, too. I said to Jane, you must get used to this all the time. People are like, hey, Luna! they don't really say hi to you. But anyway, that's like Luna and Jane, and One Health Partners. Okay, Max, the photographer, also, thank you so much. Kira found Max on the Toronto Vegans Facebook group, so we're really happy to be connected with you, and thank you for doing this with us. I want to say, in a personal note, Camille, I want to thank you for your friendship and ongoing support. It's always been so important. I can't really see Camille right now. There you are. Oh, yeah, there you are. Okay, Camille, yes. And my husband Damon, where's my husband Damon? And there he is. Damon is like the definition of support. You look that up in the dictionary, and there's a picture of him there. That's how that goes. And then my wonderful whirling and twirling Isabel. Where are you, Isabel? Yes, okay. And I really wouldn't be able to do anything without Isabel and Damon. Lastly, the Hadley Family Foundation, they are really, River can't be here tonight, but hopefully he's going to watch the recording and see how much everyone is appreciating what the funds are making possible, and it's really lovely. Also, the facilitation of the donations through our advancement team, Jonathan Cheevers and Rosalind Quinlan are here. I don't know, if Jonathan, Rosalind, Rosemary, you want to put your hand up just so people know who you are? And then lastly, I want to just give a shout out to the higher levels of administrative support we've received. Annette Paul in advancement, Gina John in HR. I feel like I meet with Gina, like, I don't know, every day, every second day or something. Like, I don't know why. There's so much meeting with Gina. Anyway, she's so wonderful. And then, of course, our dean, Jutta Brunet. So we're very excited to be rolling out this program and celebrating this with you. If you haven't already given your email and permission to be on the events list, please stop by and do that. It's called Guest Log, and then we can just add you automatically, and you'll get notices of all our events. And then the 2 QR codes that are on the table might be of interest, the website, as I mentioned, and there's also one for the Digest, which you can sign up for. The Canadian Digest right now, I just learned it's got like 620 subscribers, which is, really pretty good, I think, especially for a country, we're not, I don't know, I'm not going to ask you what this US one is, but it's probably a lot more. But, we're pretty small, so. I always think we're like the middle power, right? We punch above our weight. That's what Canada, that's what we do. I mean, that's our thing, so, that's very good. Okay, so thank you so much for coming. Please enjoy the space and the food and the drinks until 7 p.m. in the library until 8 p.m. Thank you for coming, and we look forward to continuing to work with every single one of you.